Welcome to Highly Questionable. This guy, after threatening a holdout, has a new contract. We're all safe. Bomani, what's intriguing to you today?
We're going to pretend like we stayed all the way up to watch all of that second game.
Vamos, papi.
How should we rate Josh Norman's first game as a Redskin?
Well, he was great for the Washington racial slurs. Antonio Brown was great against the other cornerback. What is the other cornerback's name?
Breland.
It should have just said not Josh Norman on the back of his uniform because that's where they were going with Antonio Brown. I do think it's fair to question, Bomani, if you're going to give that much money to Josh Norman, why wouldn't you figure out the schemes to put Josh Norman on Antonio Brown? Because Patrick Peterson and Richard Sherman have had success. They're about the only ones who have had success against Antonio Brown.
But they've got one of those schemes where you put a corner on one side. Richard Sherman plays in one of those schemes too, and they just kept sending Antonio Brown to the other side. The discouraging part for Washington has to be Breland's good, or at least he was really good last year. He was good through this preseason. You thought that if Josh Norman didn't pan out, you might have had a number one corner already. It didn't look like that last night.
You know who is happy that we're talking about Josh Norman? Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
They basically put him on self-check. Like, they treated him like the basketball player that you know can't shoot, so you just leave him open.
I mean, stop with the 4-yard passes, Kirk. Please, dear God.
Is the NFL a bunch of herbs for penalizing Antonio Brown's touchdown twerk?
That's right. Herbs. There are a bunch of herbs for this one. Antonio Brown, in the course of lighting Washington on fire, got this touchdown. Great catch, by the way. There's that Breland fella rolling on the ground. And your friendly reminder that Antonio Brown is from Miami.
Bang! Bang! Bang!
Now,
Bang!
they gave him 15 yards for that. I need to know why that dance in particular is the penalty when Michael Bennett can do the same thing after a sack, and it's no big deal. At the same time, NFL, how you going to penalize the man for it, then have the video on the websites to sell it?
That's a good point by him. Jared Allen one time got in trouble because he was doing a bodybuilder's pose where you like slap your thigh and stuff, and they also got him for sexually suggestive dancing amid the erectile dysfunction commercials, by the way. Here's the part that I love. Cam Newton keeps getting hit in the head. No flags. Right there. 5 impregnating thrusts. Flag.
Yeah, hurt some. Okay. Twerk some. 15 yards.
I think that everybody should be allowed to twerk, don't you?
I mean,
Yeah, I think so, no?
no,
Yeah.
not
America.
everybody.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
everybody.
let's
No,
twerk, let's
no,
go,
no.
let's go, twerk.
Ain't
twerk,
no let's.
No.
And that ain't twerking. I'm not even looking, and I know that it's not.
That is not twerking. That is, oh my God, is that how I got here? Mom, is that how I got here?
Might the 49ers actually be good, or are the Rams just a dumpster fire?
Oh no, we got a full dumpster fire situation here. The Rams should have put a dumpster fire on the side of their helmets. By the way, Los Angeles, how you liking that team? The LA Rams still have not scored a point since 1994, even though they're now in LA. The Los Angeles Rams have not scored a point. Man, oh man, Case Keenum. I do not understand what I was watching last night, Bomani, because I know the 49ers are not good.
Look, I understood Case Keenum starting for Houston because he went to college at U of H, and there's this kind of nostalgia thing there. I don't understand him starting anywhere else. That being said, we can rewind to the previous season where the 49ers beat the Vikings in a somewhat similar fashion. The Vikings made the playoffs, and the 49ers wound up being the 49ers that we saw last year. That being said, why are the Rams always this? Like, they don't just have good players. They have really good players approaching great players. Like 3 I can name off the top of my head. Why are they always on the verge of stink?
Remember when Jeff Fisher says we are not going 7-9? Well, he's right. They're going 1-15, maybe 0-16.
Well, yeah,
you never
where they
know.
get, I was just going to ask, where are they going to get the 1 based on what you saw last
The
night?
thing about them is they'll mess around and beat Seattle.
Did the Rams completely blow it by passing on Carson Wentz?
No, we're not going to overreact at all. In fact, we're in the process now where we're about to dog somebody who didn't even play in week 1. But that's the thing. Now, the draft guys were telling us going in, Carson Wentz had a higher ceiling, but he wouldn't be ready to play week 1. We saw him play week 1. He looked like a capable NFL quarterback, and Jared Goff is on the bench behind Case Keenum. I'm not sure if they got this one right.
Here's the thing, right? You don't want to overreact to one game, but I think the pulsating thing coming off of that sewage last night, and that was a bad football game to watch. It was hard to watch. It made me palpably sad. I had something that felt like depression creep into my life watching that game. The worst thing to come from that game last night is not Case Keenum. It's Goff not being able to get on a field where Keenum was playing like that.
He's the third string, right?
Was playing like that.
He's the third string right now, by the way. Third.
You know, I'm amazed that Jeff Fisher still has a job there, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Like,
I mean, I can't figure that one out. He got to be half a golf player. I mean, the owner of the Rams, he likes to play golf, right? Got to be the only reason for him, no?
Six winning seasons in 21. 6 out of 21, and he's basically been employed since I was in the 10th grade.
How should universities in North Carolina feel about the NCAA pulling 7 championship events?
Hey, Mark Emmert said they were going to do it, and they did it. In sports ranging from lacrosse to soccer, and also involving basketball, the NCAA says because of HB2, the so-called bathroom bill, those events will be pulled out of the state of North Carolina. Now, how much it affects the individual universities of the states, it kind of depends, because these are events that you typically have to qualify for. One university very much so affected by this, the University of North Carolina and their men's basketball team, because they're the one that's likely to qualify for an event in the state of North Carolina that they actually want to play in North Carolina, and it makes it a whole lot easier to get to the Final Four when you don't have to leave the state. I've said this for a long time. If you want to see something change on this law, let it mess with Tar Heel basketball. It just messed with Tar Heel basketball.
I'm not terribly comfortable with the NCAA, which is about as unjust as anything you will find in sports, making moral stands. But what just happened is the kind of thing that has to happen in order for there to be change when it comes to government policy, because now you're affecting the economy. Basketball's all-star game already did this, and now you've messed with the most precious thing that you have in North Carolina sports, which is that basketball team. It's one way to influence. It's one of the strongest ways to influence.
Another thing to consider, too, is as these events leave North Carolina, guess who has a site close by for things like basketball? Greenville, South Carolina, where they can tell you, hey, we took that flag down a couple years ago. We are back open for business, baby.
Is Adam Jones right that players aren't protesting in baseball because it is a white man's sport?
This was kind of funny, if this is allowed to be funny, Bomani, because Adams Jones, basically what he did was protest the national anthem while not protesting the national anthem, because it's a game in which it's very white and you're not allowed to protest the national anthem. It feels like he did this without doing it. And is he right that it's a white man's sport? I mean, it's also a brown man's sport, but what you can say is it's not a black man's sport. And if he kneels during the national anthem, he's going to be a lot more alone than if he did it in the safety of a football huddle where he's got people around him who are like-minded.
Now, he said this to USA Today, and my question for people is, where is the offense coming up? Because people have it. Do you think he's wrong about that being the reason that people are protesting in baseball? Or do you think he's wrong because he's saying baseball is a white man's sport? Because, yes, there are certainly brown and black men who play baseball, but at every turn, preserving the identity that baseball has had forever is something that they do. And when does that identity go back to? Back when only white people played baseball. No. This is absolutely a white man's sport, much in the way that the NBA has become a black man's league. There's nothing offensive in saying this, and he's right. If you were to do this on a baseball team, it's going over a whole lot different than it would on your football team.
You know, also it's very difficult to kneel for 162 games, you know?
That is true.
I mean, is it true? I feel like catchers do that.
Wait a minute, do they come out the dugout for this before every single game? This is the part that just dawned on me. You got to come up the steps 162 times for this?
Yeah.
Coming up next on Highly Questionable.
Oh,
Whoa.
yeah, there it is. Yeah, there it is.
Wait. They don't have weight limits in the rugby leagues?
I mean, he's also faster than everybody, though.
Let me tell you what I bet is in his back pocket. A birth certificate.
Oh,
goodness.
Good God.
Hey,
yeah,
man.
wait a minute.
Oh, no.
Who is this?
Oh, man.
No, that's Derrick Rose. Oh, no.
Oh,
That's
man.
not
Why did
right,
you do him
man.
like that?
That's not right.
My son's TV show is brought to you by Red's Apple Ale. Crisp like an apple, brewed like a beer. Time to play the game that just wants to be left alone. Do you question?
You give us topics and events, and we question them.
Do you question if this kid needs to up his competition?
Oh, please tell me this is video of that crazy giant kid in rugby. What is this? Let's see this. Oh,
Whoa.
yeah, there it is. Yeah, there it is.
Wait. They don't have weight limits in the rugby leagues?
I mean, he's also faster than everybody, though.
Let me tell you what I bet is in his back pocket. A birth certificate.
Oh,
goodness.
Good God.
Hey, man.
Wait a minute.
Here's the thing about it. What can he do about the fact that he's bigger than them? Off of me.
Jeez.
Hey, he's doing what he's supposed to.
Oh my God, those kids in their helmets, they look extra not athletic.
Okay, so like the last kid on this one, why are you still trying? Like I feel like he's not the smartest of the bunch. Can't be.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah, like at that point.
Oh, 13.
13 appeared to be a young lady, right? I weigh me by 20 pounds, but I ain't losing no fight to no 9-year-old.
You know, the other team coach, he made a big mistake. When you gotta face somebody like that, you gotta tell your players, you go for his knees, you go for his knees, you go for his knees, time after time after time. And so once you crack one of his knees, that's it. He's out for good, buddy. That's what you do.
I think they tried that, and luckily none of them caught a knee to the skull.
Do you question if there is still a chance for this fellow?
The fella is Knox. He's J.J. Redick's son. J.J. Redick, for some reason, chose to embarrass his child on the internet by showing him failing miserably at hitting a ball that isn't moving. And it's not the kid's fault, right? He doesn't realize that he's being, set out for ridicule by his father. And his father wanted to let us know, hey, the kid's gotten better. Like we the ones that embarrassed him in the first place.
All right, let's see here.
And he sent this to us on the Twitter. He wanted us to see.
Sent it to
Little
us.
homie Fort Knox. Okay.
Oh, he has gotten better.
There we go.
Yes.
I'm pretty impressed.
Are you sure that was the same kid? He looks different to me,
Did
though.
J.J. Redick put a ringer in
right.
there?
I think so, yeah.
Redick.
Look ahead.
Redick, you fraud, Redick. That's not even your kid. You went and got a kid from the neighborhood who's better team ball.
That's right.
He got cork in his bet.
Yeah, you cheater, Redick.
So J.J. Redick has an AstroTurf lawn, too?
Yeah, he does seem to have a lawn that isn't actually
What is
grass.
that? Is that fake grass, too? Redick, is anything about you real? Redick, you're totally counterfeit. This isn't your kid. That's not real grass.
Wow.
How did this turn into ripping J.J. Redick? All he did was send us a video of his kid.
Do you question if NBA 2K17 is the most realistic video game yet?
I mean, I still play Miss Pac-Man and Galaga, so I don't
Why
know,
are you hanging
but
out at laundromats?
No, I have one in my house. I'm not hanging out at laundromats. I have one in my
Where else
house.
would they have
in
one?
my house. Let's see what we've got here. How realistic is this?
This Rose should just run it down the court and tore his ACL.
Oh, no.
Who is this?
Oh, man.
No, that's Derrick Rose. Oh, no.
Oh,
that's
man.
not
Why did
right,
they do him
man.
like that?
That's not right. Oh. No.
Oh my God, they some D Rose, bro. They are some.
That ain't right.
You know, nobody cares on the team, you know. Derrick Rose is right there on the court, down the court. Nobody gives a you know.
Hold on, can we go back to the very end of that? Because the question of how realistic that video is whether or not that dude on the bench really has ashy knees all the time. Like when you get to the end of this video,
Really?
yeah, is that Melo? Why they got Melo with the ashy knees? Look how ashy Melo's knee is. It's right there.
That is a good catch by you, Beaumont.
I mean, I'm just saying, man. I feel like all the Knicks deserve more respect than that. That's not how you treat a super team, with a dude on the ground holding his knee and the other one who need to be putting some lotion on his.
I can't believe that that's the knee that Bomani noticed.
Coming up next on my son's TV show.
Watch this.
He's number 2 right there. There it is. How about some of
He
that?
hits Swanson.
Oh my gosh, the Braves can't get anything right. He's just sitting there talking, and he gets hit there. My guess is that's not going to end up on the disabled list.
Trip to a lower speed. Pete, what I need? Puff some more weed. Funk, you don't need. Approaching homies with a passion. Been a long day, but they have been driven by attraction in a strong way. Your body's banging, baby. I love it when you flaunt it. Time to give it to daddy. Now tell me how you want it. This broadcast from the Clevelander Hotel on beautiful South Beach, Miami. Time to play the game that has no friends. See or no?
Tell us what's on television. He'll always be intrigued.
On Fox Sports Southeast, Marlins and Braves.
Oh, no. Dear God, no. Why would anybody watch this? The Braves are horrific. But their shortstop was the number 1 overall pick last year, Dansby Swanson, and he got hurt last night. How did he get hurt?
During warm-ups, watch this.
He's number 2 right there. There it is. How about some of
He
that?
hits Swanson.
Oh, my gosh. The Braves can't get anything right. He's just sitting there talking, and he gets hit there. My guess is that's not going to end up on the disabled list. Bomani, are you intrigued?
No, of course not. But if I showed you a picture of number 5 and I said, what is this guy's name? Dansby Swanson or Freddie Freeman? Do you think that the average person on the street would get it correct?
Poppy, are you intrigued?
See, I'm very intrigued. But I tell you something, that guy looks soft to me. He got hurt with the baseball, and the baseball hit him on a bounce. What kind of a baseball player that guy is, you know? If you get hit with the line drive, you get hit the sliding into a back ball. He's just shooting the breeze, and he gets hit with the bounce ball.
No, that ball didn't bounce.
It didn't bounce? I thought that it bounced, no? Didn't hit the dirt first?
This is where the show goes from funny with the old guy to confusing old people.
On Masson, Mets and Nationals.
Mildly interested. Yoenis Cespedes. How do we pronounce his name, Bobby? Cespedes or Cespedes?
Cespedes.
All right. Yoenis Cespedes hit a home run. Let's look. We're not focused on the home run, though. We are focused on, yeah. Is that a vendor of some sort? Catching that with his right hand. What is he selling? What's in his left hand? It's a good grab, but that vendor's not doing anything. Okay, very good. Bomani, are you intrigued?
I don't think the vendor's supposed to be watching the game. You're supposed to have your back to the crowd out here selling stuff. I don't care if it was 8 people in your section.
Wow, he's the boss of the vendors. Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. But listen, that vendor doesn't impress me. If you want to impress me, you got to make that cash holding another human being. That's the way to do it.
Really? My father has video at the ready of an usher holding another human being?
That dude right there, that unsafe parent.
There you are.
There it is.
Tyler Hansbrough's cousin.
You know, I would have done that when you were a kid, but there was only one problem. I couldn't hold you.
Right.
That's right.
Because I was too heavy. Right. Because I was a 300-pound infant. Right. That's the joke.
It's going to surprise you, but my parents didn't have any such problems.
Yes,
I
there
did
it is.
both hands. You know,
There it is. Both hands. That's so funny.
On NBC, the grand finale of America's Got Talent.
The only time we check in with this show has been to check in on the long snapper for the Eagles, who's a magician. Evidently, he eliminated someone in the semifinals. This person was eliminated. Let's see what we've got.
Oh.
No, this is going to be a disaster where he misses. We're about to find out why he was eliminated. I feel like this is a lot better when there's a catastrophe as opposed to if this.
Well, at least for our show.
Well, that's an also. Oh, no.
You hitting all the stars?
Oh, no, okay. I mean, the magician must have been pretty good then. Bomani, are you intrigued?
I mean, I understand why she's there. I just want to know what makes Reba McEntire any more qualified to evaluate tricks like those than me. Like, I feel like we should be America's Got Talent judges.
Fair enough. Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued, but at least it's better than the last guy I saw doing the same thing.
Oh, we get to go
That's
to this
right.
video.
There
Yes.
yeah.
There we go.
There it is, one of our clumsy founding fathers right here. Look at this.
I just need to know how much the kid's getting paid. Because there's a real Dragonfly Jones element to this, where this guy says he's a master, but he doesn't look to be so masterful.
Can we backtrack for just a second? Because something I've always missed about this video as that founding father leaves the premises with a hand raised in triumph is the unscathed watermelon above them. I've never noticed before that the watermelon isn't touched at all, that he's aiming for the watermelon and no watermelon.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching.
Check out this man's radio show, 4 to 7 Eastern, ESPN Radio. Thanks for watching.
Gracias. See you mañana.
And if they put you in that spinning wheel, they'll never be able to spin it.
Really?